What's going on, everybody? So I am back today to talk about one of my favorite types of movies, an 80s slasher film. And this was one that has been on my list for quite some time to watch now, and thanks to the great people at Shudder, it was streaming over there, and I got a chance to check it out. And the movie I'm going to be talking about today is The Prowler. Prowler is directed by Joseph Zito. A masked killer wearing World War II U.S. Army fatigue stalks a small New Jersey town bent on reliving a 35-year-old double murder by focusing on a group of college kids holding an annual spring dance. So the movie opens by showing you this spring dance that's occurring with all these people, and I believe it was like the 40s or the 50s when the movie started. And you see all these people, they're at this homecoming dance for people that were in the army. These two people end up getting murdered by this guy in full military uniform. And you jump forward to 30 years later, where these college kids are so interested in throwing this dance again. And what I will say about this movie is I was so not concerned with the plot and more just enamored by how amazing the visual effects and the cinematography are in this. Because I found myself towards about the halfway point starting to care about the characters more, but the beginning of this film is really all over the place. Our lead character, Pam, is this young girl who's helping organize this whole event. You have the sheriff in the town who's really into her, and then all the friends at the college who are involved in getting this dance organized that you know are going to end up getting killed off one by one, which I thought was really hilarious. But what ends up happening is you start establishing all these people in the town so that you can kind of build in your head this portfolio of people to start guessing who's going to be the killer. So the night of the dance is when people start getting picked off one by this guy in a military uniform who has his face completely covered up. And it is brutal. This movie has some of the best kills I've ever seen in a slasher film. Shout out to Tom Savini, who was one of the greatest visual effects artists in this era, and this might be some of his best work as a visual effects artist. There's this one kill in particular that I know people who have seen this movie probably think about all the time, where the Prowler shoves a knife through this guy's head, and it comes out through the bottom of his chin, and his eyes start to glaze over white. And what was really impressive is normally with this type of effect in this era, because there was no CGI, there was no computer generated effects, they'd cut away, but it holds so long and it makes the kill feel so much more intimate and brutal, and it's just jarring to watch. It was really disturbing. And there's a kill in a shower that's very reminiscent of the shower scene from Psycho. You can tell they probably pulled from that a little bit. But what I loved about this movie is it's really great about building tension. The camera holds on a lot of different just shadows moving, people in a room by themselves for a really long period of time, to where you as the viewer are getting just as uncomfortable as the person in the film, because you're stuck in this room and it's when's he gonna come out? Where a lot of 80s slasher films are boom, 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 we're just gonna kill him off, back to back to back. This movie really takes its time to do that. And like I said, the character development isn't great. I think our lead character and the sheriff that end up being the two that we follow for most of the film, they're entertaining. And then you cut back to the dance that's going on. You have this live band from the 80s and everybody kind of geeking out about it. You have the stereotypical drunk kids that are gonna not pay attention to any of the rules that end up getting killed off, which was kind of hokey. But at the same time, watching these visual effects and the practical effects in this movie are insane. There's this really hokey moment in the third act when the movie's coming to close where you're just why did this happen? Why does it end the way that it does? But I was able to kind of push that out of the back of my head because of how much I just enjoyed the overall atmosphere and the practical effects in this. I really like the dorm space that they have set up where these kids live. There's these crazy staircases that they're running through where there's access on both ends to get in. So our characters, when they're running away from the Prowler, it gives them a lot of different options as to where they can go and where they can hide, and it creates a much more expansive world that for you as the viewer, you're watching and you're go here, go there. And so it really just keeps you on the edge of your seat to where you're constantly asking yourself what's gonna happen next. And I always appreciate that in my 80s slashers, because that's a genre that I really love. I love old cheesy campy horror movies, and this movie aligns with those absolutely perfectly. I feel like this is one I could see in my regular rotation. It has a killer score to this movie that's really just keeps you on the edge of your seat, and I look forward to watching this again very soon in the near future. Have you seen The Prowler? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I think this movie is great. It's such a fun slasher that definitely deserves its right and one of the best from the era. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.